give you a little bit of a treat. So, yesterday I was doing a talk. I did a keynote speech, and it was for an amazing company. They run offices in the center of Hull. They are called C4DI. And a lovely South African chap named Bob Spence invited me, and I was hosted by Tina Swan of C4DI. And the event was all about business development and sales performance. So I have decided to share a little bit about what I said on my talk with you lovely lot. So you're in for a bit of a treat. And I've got a few slides that I did for the day. So talking about sales performance and how it starts before sales. And we touch on a little bit of human AI for marketing as well. So before I get kind of cracking with that, and whilst I get my notes, there were other speakers involved yesterday, amazing people such as Jim Bloomfield, Belle Turpin, and Wayne Willis, who also did an amazing job talking about sales performance from their perspectives, which was a treat. So look those people up if you can. The names again are Jim Bloomfield and Belle Turpin and also Wayne Willis. So without further ado, let's get cracking on. I'm going to start with something that might challenge how you think about sales performance. All right, where is my screen gone? Okay, I've lost my slides. For some reason, I've lost my slides. Right, okay, screen. Okay. I need to be here. I need to see what I'm doing. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. So if I tap on that, what happens? Okay, good. I'll just do that again. I'm going to start with something that might challenge how you think about sales performance. In most businesses, when results start to become inconsistent, we decide to look at sales first. But the problem with that is that the problem is doesn't start at the point of sales. It starts with the pipeline. But even earlier than that, before sales conversations even happen, it starts with how the business shows up. It starts with who the business attracts, what the business says to those people, and how consistently it does that. So the real question is where or when does sales performance really start? Okay, so quickly before I dive in, I just want to say that there was a piece of research done that I read recently it's done by Harvard Business Reviews, also McKinsey and Gartner, and these pieces of research all point to the same thing. They say that businesses that are aligned between marketing and sales, that are relevant and clear how they show up, and they are structured in how they operate. Those kinds of businesses that do those three things outperform those that simply do more volume of activities. But here's the problem. Most businesses respond to poor sales performance by increasing that activity, not improving their capability. So let's bring this a bit closer to home. How many of you, I'm opening up the chat here, how many of you watching now in live or watching on the replay, if you're watching on the replay, just in the chat, just put hashtag replay and then tell me, hands up, which one of these you recognize, okay? You're familiar with it in your business right now. Say A, if you're getting plenty of conversations, but not a lot of conversions, sales. Say B, if the leads are coming in, but they're not the right leads. So you could do the work, but it's not big enough to get your teeth stuck into. Okay, C, your sales cycles, your deals are so slow. They're taking ages, much longer than they should, okay? And finally, D, tell me if it's the opportunities are dead, if the time spent opportunities go nowhere. All right, so tell me that in the chat. I've got the chat open now if you're watching live, but if you're watching on the replay, then just put in hashtag A, B, C, or D. Okay? Let's see if we can get some info on this and share. So sound familiar? Let's move on. 3, 4, 5. Right, slide 5. So you're already there's people out there. There was people in the room yesterday that were seeing the wrong leads that are coming into the pipeline. They're seeing sales teams or themselves taking too long explaining and fixing poor positioning. We do this, but we don't do this. Those kind of conversations. Yes, we can do this, but actually we're positioned to do this. So all that explanation, lots of time wasted on low fit opportunities. The qualification process is becoming part of the sales process. And then also results that are just inconsistent. So this is not a sales issue. It's a pipeline quality issue. Your sales and your sales team, your sales people, or you, if you're the salesperson, is working far harder than it should. So for the next sort of 20 minutes or so, this is going to be a longer chat. For the next 20 minutes or so, I'm just going to go through and show you why this feels harder than it should, why AI is not fixing it properly, and what it might actually be costing you and your business. We are going to actually talk about AI because a lot of people are hoping that AI will fix things. Okay? It can, just not in the way that most people are using it. And we are going to quantify the cost of not fixing this for your business. So watch out for those things. Now, why should you listen to me? If you don't know me, my name is Kat. I'm Yorkshire's Marketing Consultant of the Year and founder of MeWow Marketing. I've been working with small, medium businesses since 2020 directly, designing and installing marketing capabilities that generate predictable increased revenue using our proprietary MeWow Marketing Blueprint, an 8-step system based on my 20 plus years of marketing experience, applied marketing experience in public sector, private sector, in organizations such as HSBC and Barclays, the Ministry of Justice, the Department for Education, and so on. Our approach is controlled, careful, and measured enough to work in highly regulated and highly scrutinized organizations, very highly technical environments, such as financials services, legal services, HR services, IT and tech, software, engineering, manufacturing, and so many more. We're proud to boast results such as an over 200% net profit increase within 5 months of working with us. But that's enough about me. Let's jump back into what we're talking about. Here's a fact. Selling is easy when people already want to buy what you're offering. Agreed? So just again, pop in replay if you're watching on the replay. If you agree, just type in agree. It's only hard to sell when you have to convince somebody to take what you're offering. Right? Am I right? So if selling feels hard, then the problem really didn't start in the sale. It started before that. So we are going to talk about, we're going to come back to what actually drives sales performance. Okay? It's everything that happens before the sale. How the business shows up, who they attract, who they're talking to, what they say to those people, and how consistently they do that over time. But those things are not, what I'm talking about is not activity. Those things are capability. The capability the organization has to do those things with impact is what I'm talking about. Activity is not capability. It just isn't. Doing more activity is not it. Most businesses have marketing and sales activity, and very, very few businesses have capability. Activity is doing the things, lots of doing of the things. Capability is doing the right things consistently with predictable results. Weak capability, when marketing capability is weak, sales has to work so much harder. And we already know, even when sales is going smoothly, it's hard work. So we don't want to do harder sales, right? Now let's come back to AI. Businesses are using AI to try and fix the pipeline issues they're having, the conversion issues they're having, the inconsistency. And that makes sense, but here's the issue. AI won't fix your sales unless you use it to fix what sits behind the sales. Did you know that in a recent study by MIT and McKinsey, the conclusion of that report said that there were 0 sales directly attributed to AI. That means that whilst there was evidence that AI supported the sale, there were no actual sales made by AI that they could evidence. So nobody bought from an AI. Okay? It supported a person to make a sale, but nothing directly to AI. It's interesting, or is it interesting? Because we all know that people buy from people that they like. And that research just reinforces that. Most businesses use AI to improve their content, to do more emails, to do more closing, to do more, posts, etc., all that content stuff. But the real leverage isn't there. The real leverage is earlier in the process. It's in the strategy behind the sales process. It's because if that strategy behind the sales process is weak, AI just amplifies the problem. More content founded on a weak strategy is just making noise. It's just noise. Impact won't be there, and the predictable, repeatable revenue just won't be there. AI becomes really powerful when it applies thinking. For example, I use prompts like using Alex Hormozi's value equation, identify the demand in a particular market sector, or use Daniel Priestley's positioning framework to sharpen the messaging for this product, service, etc. Using commercial frameworks to guide decisions and clarity in your strategy is how to best use and apply AI. Now that AI isn't guessing anymore, it's actually applying proven thinking, proven models at speed. And at MeWow, this is the power that we leverage. We don't just simply go into an AI and say, write, 300 social media posts about XYZ. It doesn't work that way. So let me make this a bit real. Let me tell you a story. A professional service firm that we worked with last year, they didn't have a lead problem. They had a lead quality, and positioning problem. They were really busy, but not productive. With an outside eye, it was really clear that they needed to address a few areas. So what we fixed targeting, who they were talking to. We fixed positioning, what they were telling those people that they could look after for them, how they could service them. Qualification, making sure that the leads were qualified properly, that they were at the right rate, at the right level. And follow-up, making sure that no lead was unaddressed, was left hanging. And within 5 months, they achieved a 200% increase that I mentioned earlier in net profit. So in under 5 months is quite, significant. And they didn't achieve that by doing more marketing activities. We didn't layer on anything new. They already had a website. They were already doing posting on social. We didn't add in anything at all. We simply changed those 4 things. And by fixing that, what sat behind that performance is how we got to that impact. If they could see it for themselves, they wouldn't have needed me. But often businesses need that outside perspective to make progress. Right. So when something isn't working, we don't just wait, hold on. Yeah. When something isn't working, we don't ask, what should we post or what blog should we write? We ask, where's the breakdown? Is it targeting? Is it positioning? Is it follow-up? Is it conversion? Is it market research? Is it the marketplace? What is it exactly? What would we need to really address? Then we fix that highest impact point first. And if you take one thing from this talk today, let it be this: activity doesn't improve performance, capability does, and AI simply accelerates it. Now, I told you that we were going to actually calculate the cost, that you're carrying of not fixing this in your business. If you're experiencing any of the things that you put your hand up for earlier, inconsistent revenue, etc., then this number is what it's actually costing you. So I'm going to take you through a bit of a numbers exercise. So get a calculator and a little pen and paper, and sort of stick with me. If numbers are not your thing, numbers are not mine either. So I've tried to make it as simple and straightforward as possible for me, really, because numbers are not my native language. So let's make this real. You've got your phone and you've got a calculator, and you've got a pen and paper. Now think about the last quarter of activity that you had in your business. What's the number of inquiries you received, vaguely, roughly, in your head? Let's pick a number, okay? How many inquiries you received. Now type that in and press multiply. Then think about your average conversion rate, percentage-wise. Is it 50%? Is it half of the inquiries? Is it slightly less? Is it 40%? Is it slightly more? Is it 60? Is it 70? Is it higher? Try and think of a quarterly conversion percentage rate. Now, let's put that percentage in and press multiply. Then think of your average deal value. So to get this, think about the three deals last three deals you did, what their values were. Add them all up and divide them by 3, or 4 deals or whatever. Add them all up and divide them by 4. So let's get a ballpark rough idea of what your average deal value is, and then press equal. So now you have a number on your screen that is the approximate amount, or the amount of money that's leaking out of your company every quarter, right? That number is a quarterly number. So you would just X that by 3 for the year. So here's a quick example. The number of inquiries is 20 on my example. So 20, I received, let's say, 20 inquiries last quarter. I converted half of them, so 50% conversion rate. And my average deal value was £100. That gives me £1,000 every quarter that I'm losing out of my business. That's £3,000 a year that is I'm just not addressing. So hands up, very quick poll. If you're on the chat and you're watching it live, pop in here a yes me or a hand if better quality opportunities would improve sales performance in your organization. Oh yes, my hand is up. Exactly. So that is really the leverage point that we need to be working on. And so better opportunities mean better results. And there are two ways that I help businesses fix this. The marketing sprint, which fixes leaks fast. Let's get that £1,000 locked in. There's no need for you to actually be losing that because you're getting 20, for example, you're getting the 20 inquiries, you're converting half of them. Let's get that conversion rate up. And then the marketing mastery, which builds the marketing capability into your business. And it's a repeatable, predictable system. This isn't about doing more activity. It's about stopping what's costing you. And of course, as I said before, if businesses could see the gaps, they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't, if you could see the gaps, if the businesses could see the gaps themselves, they wouldn't be there in the first place. We often need an outside eye to help us work things through. Because your marketing should purr like a kitten, not claw for attention. Okay, so before I finish, just want you to take a quick selfie in front of this live or in front of this replay. Take a very quick selfie, list a few of the insights that you're taking away, tag me, and then make a post. Let's boost your visibility, right? Start with something super simple, and that's how you turn the time you spend on these lives and on webinars and everything. You can turn the time that you spend on these into visibility. All right, so don't miss any opportunities to do that. And of course, if this has resonated with you and you haven't connected with me yet, please connect with me in all the places. And if you think that it's valuable, that someone else might be able to in your network might be able to learn something, then by all means share, repost this live, and I would be forever grateful, and it means the world to me. So thank you for spending time on this. And if you tag me in the posts that you do about this, then I will repost it and boost it as much as I possibly can. And if you're ever in the mood for a natter about marketing on an online call, or if you're local to the whole area, an actual in-person coffee, I'm available for that. So finally, parting words. If you fix the system, everything gets easier. Ignore it, and everything stays hard. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time and all of your comments. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much. I've been Kat, putting the MeWow in marketing.